the only ones getting in on it. In fact, earlier today, a lot of people were celebrating Massachusetts Day, including Governor Maura Healey and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll. They were both here at the Eastern States Exposition. And Western Mass News reporter Olivia Hickey, she joins us now to tell us more about the conversations that we had with the governor and Lieutenant Governor. Olivia?
Well, Abby, Governor Healey and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll spent a lot of time taking in the sights and sounds from across the Commonwealth right in the Massachusetts building. Thursday was all about Massachusetts at the Big E.
We're the most populous state in New England.
Does that affect your opinion?
It's a fact.
The Bay State celebrated by people from Western Mass to the State House.
We look forward to this day every year.
Governor Maura Healey and Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll making their way through the Massachusetts building, enjoying all the food and other specialties on display, like the bone sauce out of Shrewsbury, known for their homemade chicken wing sauce.
They were very personable, nice people. They tried our sauce. I think they liked it. We have a lot of money invested in this, so anything that we could do to help promote our businesses and have them put it on a platform that can actually get us more sales. It's amazing.
Governor Healey also celebrating the state's bountiful agriculture and livestock, featured throughout the grounds. She tells Western Mass News it was a welcome sight after last year's historic freeze, frost, and floods.
We support our farmers. They're so important to our identity. They're so important to our economy. They're so important to our food supply and so much more. So we were proud to be able to step in with some funding and help our farmers through some challenging times.
Overall, a great day was had by everyone. But what do you say we get in on it, Abby, and we trade out our microphones for some turkey legs and go watch the parade?
Oh man, Olivia, twist my arm.